Technical question for Dr. Copes and MOE man, Mr. Chappell. Study in Manchester last year regarding inner ear, sensitivity of the human inner ear. Are you aware of that one, Todd? No? Dr. Copes?
Which study is it?
Todd. Todd and then
Where was it published?
Manchester.
2008 inner ear demonstrated.
Which journal is it published?
It's a peer-reviewed journal, Natural Sciences, and it demonstrated conclusively that what you can't hear, infrasound, low-frequency noise, will harm you. It disrupted the inner ear, and I was going to just bring that up as well. So.
Yeah, well, Carmen will be able to better do it than I, but basically it's pretty simple biology. They found that the human inner ear is as sensitive as fish and amphibians. As sensitive as a fish and amphibians. I'll repeat that. They don't have an outer ear. Therefore, humans, surprisingly, have retained that ability. Can you imagine what implications that has for the health effects now? With the way they're shoving the sound profiles with these larger turbines further into the low frequency range. Can you imagine what that means?
Wind turbines are by no means the only source of low frequency sound, so there are a lot of other sources that are out there. Not sure exactly which paper you're referring to, but certainly you can get physiologic response to frequencies well below what is usually written up as the lower limit of threshold for human hearing. So I mean that's no surprise that people can respond to less than 20 hertz, which is sometimes given as the lower cutoff for hearing, but in fact is not.
If I could comment, at our own expense in Ontario, we conducted a study by an expert acoustician who does study this phenomena, and this has been provided to the Minister of Health. I'm sorry, Minister of Environment, Mr. Gerritsen himself, where very, very high intrusions of low-frequency noise and infrasound were detected at every test site in Ontario, and that was in addition to the decibel noise. So this is well known, and this has been perfectly matched against wind turbines. Just a comment, we have been everywhere doing everything possible on this, and no one is listening. For the woman that talked about information, I have a data DVD, which is indexed with an executive summary, which is full to the brim of information that you're looking at for. And there's no lack of information on wind turbines. One other thing, third-party studies. I don't think any of us would be comfortable having the government of Ontario that put these turbines in without front-end studies, having them conduct any of the health studies, and these would have to be done by a third party. We've gone forward with that position because I think it would be, well, I would not trust the results, if I could put it that way. I had one last question. I think you've answered my question, sir, about where's the 40 decibel, because you referred the regulations back to the October 08 guidelines, which were at 51 dB. And if this is true, then we are back to where we started, and the 40 dB has been dropped out of the regulations, and we're into guidelines that have been shown to cause a lot of problems at 51 decibels. My last point is that you were mentioning all the complaints that people do. Our victims have complained. Binders, sometimes they're 6 inches thick, documenting logs, date, time, what the issues were, the wind direction and speed, and been doing this and have been sending it into MOE and the spills emergency line, and there is no endpoint because the government does not have any what I call remedial protocol in place. Nothing ever happens. The turbines don't go away. They keep spinning away the next day. So this is a futile exercise to go through all the complaints process because there has been no endpoint action taken, which means shutting them down, decommissioning them, getting them away from these poor people. Thank you.
I'm a realtor, and I'm on Erin Ellerslie Council. We've got two problems here tonight: wind turbines and the Dalton McGuinty government. We can get rid of Dalton in 14 months, but these wind turbines are going to change our landscape like the likes of what we've never seen. In here in Ellerslie, there's a lot of things we don't have. We don't have a Walmart. We don't have an indoor swimming pool. We don't have a movie theater. But what we do have is some of the nicest landscape and farmsteads in the province of Ontario. And when I stand out on my deck at night and watch the sun go down, or watch it come up in the morning, Dalton McGuinty does not have the right to pollute that with a bunch of inefficient, old technology garbage turbines. So what happens, where do we go from here? This is a good process, thank you for putting it on. But let's be honest, Dalton's not listening. Our council, as of a week ago yesterday, was getting prepared to put interim control bylaws in place. That morning we got a nice little fax from the MOE in Dalton that we couldn't do that anymore. I guess my opinion is that's what he says. If every municipality in Grey Bruce and maybe in all rural Ontario put a moratorium bylaw, an interim control bylaw in place, maybe by God he'd have to actually listen to us. Like, poor government creates discontent, and I think we're there. I've never seen in my political career of 12 to 14 years a bigger issue, but so clearly defined that people don't want the damn things.
And I don't know the Green Energy Act that well, but will a municipal bylaw actually circumvent it?
Absolutely not, but I guess I'm at the point, who cares? You know, he won't listen. He's went through no process.
Is there a better process, or is there another legal arm?
The Ontario planning process was likely one of the finest in North America.
Yeah.
A perfect system where local people give input to local councils. These wind turbines should require a zoning change. These farms aren't zoned industrial, and they were never ever bought to be industrial. Yeah. Anybody that bought one and thought they were going to get industrial zoning, you know, is dreaming. My God, they got it. But they never should have. And he has circumvented the full, a process that took hundreds of years to develop to near perfection. Nothing's perfect. So I think we as a people are going to have to stand up to Dalton and just say no. There's a lot of avenues yet. I always like taking on government because they miss a lot of things. I mean, number one, throw the interim control bylaw at them if enough of us did it. And I think there's support out there for it. There's huge long blades get trucked up through our county and municipal roads. Maybe we should be having a length bylaw on some of our roads. There's other angles. I don't know as of yet, I haven't found out if the Green Energy Act talks about the cost of issuing a building permit. Under current municipal legislation, that's up to a municipality. And I have a figure in my mind for what they would cost for those things, and it's very big. So thank you once again for putting this on.